Hi, I'm Eric Hansen, and today I'm going to be drinking from this mud puddle. There's a lot of different ways in which you can treat your water in the backcountry. And because water is so heavy to actually carry, at over 2 pounds per liter, it's really important that you only carry the minimum and that you're not wasting energy and effort in order to do that. But you got to stay safe out there as well. So making sure that you don't go thirsty or certainly go dry, that would be a no bueno. So today we're going to look at the different options. In your encounters at the local REI or whatever gear shop you have, you've probably seen quite a dozen number of hand pumps. And that's probably the number one way that most people are familiar with filtering water. Now, it's important to know that this is not purification, this is merely filtration. And the difference there is that filtration is removing bacteria and protozoa of a certain size, and that is most of the things that you'll find in North American waterways. The things that give you giardia and different kinds of sickness, diarrhea and stomach upset, and various things that are going to make you having a miserable time out there. But purification means that there is removing another level of viruses and other things that could be contaminating your water. And the most common filters that you see do not have that ability. So the first type of filter is just your traditional pump filter that you can see at your general REI store. They're very common and they're a great way for most introductory backpackers to treat their water. I don't have one here with me today, unfortunately. I thought that I had one packed, and sadly, I'm missing components to actually show you what to do. So that will have to wait for another day. I apologize. But I can still talk to you about the other types, and you've probably seen how those other pumps work anyway. So your traditional hand pump is literally just putting water through a series of usually fibers or maybe coal or some system that's removing bacteria and protozoa, things that are larger than a certain diameter, and then water is going to be passing through. And then everything that it's trapping, it's collecting into the filter itself and allowing clean, safe water to flow into a Nalgene bottle, your bladder system, whatever you might have. So that is certainly a great way. Most of these filters range from $70 to $150, and they can be a great way to get into backpacking. But I do want to show you one filter that I really like. It's from MSR as well. It's the same style. It is a hand pump filter. However, it kicks things up a notch and really makes things spicy. Now, this is one of my favorite filters I've ever used. A caveat though, however, is that it's quite expensive. And this is not a filter, I should say. This is a purifier. This is the Guardian Purifier from MSR. Now, it's pretty expensive. It retails for around $400 last I checked, and that's going to be out of most people's price range. But the benefits are it was developed for the military, it's nearly indestructible, and it has a nearly limitless lifespan as well. I used this particular filter for a 7-month backpacking trip through the Andes, and I put thousands of liters through it, and it's still going strong. So that's a pretty good testimony because most filters can only handle depending on the water clarity, a few hundred, maybe 1,000 liters if we're talking about really high-end filters. But ultimately, they're getting clogged, and at some point, you have to replace them. Now, what makes this one different on a couple levels is that there's actually 2 tubes here. One is an intake valve, and one is going to be spitting your dirty water back out into the stream or whatever your water source is. By spitting out the dirty water, this essentially has an ultimate lifespan of, they say, around 10,000 liters, which for most people, that's literally a lifetime of backpacking. I'm going to hook this up to my Nalgene bottle and show you how it works. So as I pump, the clean water is going into my Nalgene bottle, and the dirty water, you can see this water is not terribly dirty, but it's being spit back out into this creek here. So this will filter out bacteria and protozoa, the types of things that are going to be problematic in most North American waterways. But this is great for international travel as well because it filters out viruses. Now, viruses are more common in foreign countries and are something that your typical hand pump is not going to be able to handle. So that is a nice bonus and great for international travelers and people who want a really robust system. Now, there's also one other note. If you are backpacking in places with really dirty water, I live in the Southwest, there's a lot of, most of our waterways are actually full of dirt and sediment and things that gunk up most water filters really fast. In a dirty water system, if the water is really dirty, you might only get less than 10 liters of water cleaned before your filter is totally jam-packed with dirt. That's no good. So if you are backpacking in places that have really dirty waterways, where the water is just really mud brown, well, this is a great filter system for you. So this is a pretty dirty water source here, but as you can see, I'm still able to get pristine water out of it. And I'm not wrecking my water filter in order to do so. So, if you're backpacking in places with this kind of dirty water, this is the kind of filter I'd want to get. Now, another water purifier that I've been really excited about, and it's actually one of my favorite new pieces of technology I've come across in the backpacking world in the last couple of years, is the GRAYL water purifier. GRAYL is a relatively new company. You may be starting to see them in your local REIs because they are coming on strong and are being carried in a lot of different places. And with good reason, because they have come up with a really cool design. This is a very clean design. This is the whole filter system here. And this is also a purifier like the Guardian, but this is less than $100. And at a $400 price tag for the Guardian, this is a super solid option that I totally recommend. So the amazing thing about this is that it's very intuitive design. Just scoop up your dirty water here. Open up this to allow some airflow. Apply some pressure. And you plunge the filter through the water and fill up the inner container, which then becomes a perfectly good water bottle. I found the GRAYL system to be a really wonderful system, especially for travelers. If you're doing international travel and don't want to be buying bottles of water, 4 bottles of water every day that you're traveling, and then disposing of those water bottles into a country's waste management system that's likely not handling plastic very well, this is a really good alternative. One of the things that I like about GRAYL as well is that they recycle a lot of their plastics. So when you're done with your filter and it's run its life, you can actually return it to GRAYL. They will take it apart and they will reuse it into new filters that will go get sent out to customers all over the world. So I like what their mission is, I like who they are, and I really like their product. Now let's talk about some tried and true kind of classic systems, and that is just simply boiling water. Now, boiling water has been around for a long time as a main source of treating water. Basically what it's doing is when you boil water, it's killing off the bacteria and protozoa, the things that are alive in that water that's going to cause problems in your gut. Now, there are some myths that you need to boil water for a really long period of time. However, according to the science that I have read and my experiences as well, is that just getting the water to boil achieves the goal of killing off the microorganisms that are in the water. If you really want to feel safe about it, let it boil for 5 minutes, but from the best knowledge that I have come across, that is actually unnecessary, and just getting it to a boil makes that water safe to drink. Now, the last water treatment system I want to talk about is chemical treatment. Now, this is another tried and true system. It's another effective solution, but basically iodine or AquaTabs, these are all chemical treatment type options where you are putting a chemical into the water that neutralizes any bacteria or the types of things that are going to cause problems. So the downside for this chemical treatment is obviously that it tastes like a chemical. It usually doesn't taste very pleasant, and then often you have to wait. Oftentimes your wait times for treating water after you add it to your bottle, your liter of water, is around 20 to 30 minutes. So it's not always the most satisfying solution. However, it is cheap and it totally works. So if budget is a big concern, don't let that stop you. You can use iodine or things like AquaTabs from MSR, and I believe that there are some other companies that make chemical treatment options as well, and those are totally just fine. A couple other notes about general water purification and water safety are, what do you do if, let's say you come across a water source that is just really dirty and nasty and you don't have a system to filter it, such as this Guardian, and you still need to be able to get clean water? Well, I like to be able to use a pre-filter treatment that might look like running water through a bandana, maybe scooping up water with one filter or one Nalgene bottle into the dirty water, and then using a bandana or even a sock or a t-shirt to help filter out a lot of that sediment so that it's not clogging my filter system. That can be a really great thing for making a regular water filter like a hand pump, get some extra mileage out of it and stay safe. And then one other note is that I always like to find moving water in which to filter, and stagnant water, water that's not moving, like this water that is in front of me, is often not your best source. Find that moving water and it will go a long ways to not only taste better, but to be easier on your filter system to clean as well. So there you have it. These are all of the options in which to treat water. If you feel like I'm missing something, I might be. Let me know in the comments for sure, because I want to know about it. I want to know what systems you guys love and have been using. And these are the systems that I have become aware of and fond of and totally endorse. And they keep me safe in the backcountry. And that's the main thing, is know what you're doing out there so that you can be safe in the backcountry. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found it helpful. And if you did, please like and subscribe to our tip videos here, to our channel here at BackpackingTV. We are constantly trying to educate and inspire people to get outside, to do more and to be better, and to have more fun in the outdoors. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Eric Hansen. We'll see you later.